The four ancient tests that reveal someone's true character, and why you're probably judging people all wrong.
Here's something that probably happened to you. You met someone, maybe a potential business partner, maybe a romantic interest, maybe just a new friend, and within the first conversation, you made your decision about them. They seemed genuine, or they seemed sketchy. They felt trustworthy, or something felt off. And here's the kicker. You were completely wrong. Maybe you trusted someone who later betrayed you. Maybe you dismissed someone who turned out to be incredible. We've all been there, and it costs us. It costs us opportunities, relationships, peace of mind. The painful truth is that most of us are walking around making terrible judgments about people every single day, and we don't even realize it. Now, before you think this is going to be some wishy-washy advice about giving everyone the benefit of the doubt, let me be clear. This is about getting accurate reads on people so you can protect yourself and invest your energy wisely. Because here's what modern psychology has confirmed. Our brains are wired to make snap judgments in about 7 seconds. 7 seconds. That's how long it takes for you to form a first impression that your brain will then spend months trying to confirm, ignoring all evidence to the contrary. It's called confirmation bias, and it's running your life more than you think. We see someone dressed well and articulate, and we assume competence. We see someone stumble over their words, and we assume incompetence. We're essentially judging books by covers all day long, and then we're shocked when we get burned.
But here's where it gets interesting. About 2,500 years ago, the Buddha laid out a framework for understanding people that's so psychologically sophisticated it's almost eerie. He wasn't interested in spiritual platitudes. He was interested in reality, in seeing things as they actually are. And what he taught was that truly understanding another human being requires 4 specific tests, and each test takes something we're terrible at: time and attention. The first test is what he called understanding virtue through proximity. In modern terms, this means you cannot know someone's true values, their real ethical framework, until you've lived alongside them, worked with them, seen them in their daily environment over an extended period. Not days, not weeks, we're talking months. Here's why this matters. Everyone can perform virtue. Everyone can be polite at dinner, generous when it's convenient, honest when there's no cost. But virtue is what shows up when nobody's watching, when it's inconvenient, when there's no reward. Do they return the shopping cart? Do they tell the truth when a lie would be easier? Do they keep their word when circumstances change? You cannot know this from coffee dates and job interviews. You need to see the pattern over time, and you need to be paying attention, not just floating through interactions on autopilot.
The second test reveals integrity through transactions and dealings. This is brilliant because it's where people show you who they really are under pressure. How do they handle money? How do they treat people who can't do anything for them? What happens when there's a disagreement or competing interests? The Buddha understood something that behavioral economics has now proven. People reveal their true character in how they negotiate, compromise, and resolve conflicts. Someone might seem generous until you're splitting a bill. Someone might seem reasonable until you disagree with them. Someone might seem honest until they have something to gain from deception. You need repeated interactions where something is at stake to see the pattern. 1 transaction tells you nothing. 10 transactions start to reveal the truth. The third test is the most revealing and the one most people never get to see. Understanding someone's fortitude through misfortune. This is where the mask comes off completely. When someone faces real adversity, real loss, real pain, you see what they're made of. Do they blame everyone else, or do they take responsibility? Do they give up, or do they adapt? Do they lash out, or do they maintain their composure? Here's the thing. Success reveals what people want to show you. Failure reveals who they actually are. And the Buddha was crystal clear about this. You cannot know someone's patience, their resilience, their true character until you've seen them go through something hard. Not mildly inconvenient, actually hard. This is why wartime friendships are so deep, why people who've overcome struggles together have unbreakable bonds. Shared suffering reveals truth in a way that shared success never can.
The fourth test assesses wisdom through conversation, but not the way you think. The Buddha wasn't talking about clever banter or impressive credentials. He meant deep dialogue over time. Can this person think critically? Can they admit when they're wrong? Do they ask good questions, or do they just wait to talk? Do they learn from experience, or do they keep making the same mistakes? Wisdom isn't about intelligence or education. It's about the quality of someone's thinking, their ability to see clearly, to adapt, to grow. And you cannot assess this in small talk. You need substantive conversations about real things, mistakes, values, uncertainty. You need to see how their thinking evolves, or doesn't evolve, over months of knowing them. Now here's the part that makes this framework so powerful. The Buddha insisted that all four tests require the same three conditions. First, genuine time, not casual acquaintance. Second, deliberate attention, not passive observation. Third, wisdom in the observer. That last one is crucial. If you're not self-aware, if you're not honest about your own biases and blind spots, you'll misjudge people no matter how long you know them. You'll see what you want to see.
So how do you actually use this? Start by admitting that your quick judgments are probably wrong. Not definitely wrong, but probably wrong. Hold them lightly. When you meet someone new, whether for business or friendship or romance, resist the urge to make a final decision about them immediately. Instead, think in terms of these four categories. Create opportunities to observe their virtue in daily life, their integrity under transaction pressure, their fortitude when things go wrong, and their wisdom in real conversation. And give it time, real time. If someone seems amazing after 2 weeks, great, but you don't actually know yet. If someone seems terrible after one bad interaction, okay, but you don't actually know yet. The ancient text also points out something fascinating. Humans are uniquely skilled at hiding their weaknesses. Other animals wear their nature openly, but we've learned to perform, to manage impressions, to show only what serves us. This means that surface-level observation is almost useless for understanding people. You have to go deeper, wait longer, pay closer attention. It's harder than quick judgment, yes, but quick judgment is what's costing you. The relationships that imploded, the opportunities you missed, the trust you gave to the wrong people. That's all the price of impatience.
Understanding requires something judging doesn't. Compassion, patience, and the willingness to believe that people are complex, that good hearts sometimes choose poor methods, that everyone is fighting battles you know nothing about. When you judge, you separate and close yourself off. When you understand, you grow and open yourself up to reality. So the next time you meet someone and your brain wants to file them away in 7 seconds as trustworthy or suspicious, competent or incompetent, good or bad, pause. Remember that you're probably wrong. Remember that truth reveals itself slowly to those patient and wise enough to wait for it. And remember that the cost of judging quickly is always higher than the cost of understanding deeply.